Hello viewers and welcome back to Endless Legend. Last time we started up our burgeoning empire. You can see we're actually pressed pretty tightly between a lot of enemies. We can take... is it Tolilian? We can take Tolilian here. And in fact, we're going to have to pretty quickly to avoid getting pinched into just having two regions here. But I'm not happy about it, and it's going to be difficult to... Our empire is going to be a weird shape that's not really easy to defend. I'm not happy about this, about a lot of the things about this start. Oh well. No sense crying over it. So, we didn't actually... We ended last time without finishing the turn. There's this research. This allows us to build a building that will dredge dust out of rivers. That's certainly useful. This will allow us to get the titanium deposits that we have in our regions. That's certainly useful. It's always good to be able to build. We have a big glass steel surplus right now, but this isn't going to last us that long, actually. Weapons and armor take a surprising amount of resources. We really do need to get resource production underway. The other thing we definitely need from this era is access to the mercenary market. This will allow us to hire additional heroes. In an ideal world, we would have a hero serving as governor in each of our cities, and at least one army being led by a hero as sort of the vanguard of our military forces. So we're going to need a lot of heroes. That said, mercenary market research is not really a rush for us because we have no money, and so we wouldn't be able to hire a hero anyway. The public library is important because we will need to boost our science output. So basically, I think it comes down to either starting in on our resources, our research output, or improving our dust. Do we have a river in Costrian? We do not. This city is eventually going to have quite a few river tiles in it because we're going to expand down this way. But Costrian doesn't have a river at all. The river research also allows you to get extra resources from lakes. Let's see, we're going to found in this city, in this region, and we're definitely not going to have a river available to us here either. It does make the value of the river research a little bit lower. Man, where are we going to found here? There's a good anomaly here, but it's definitely industry light. I keep saying production like in Civilization. I've played a lot of Civ 5, and it's hard for me to banish those associations from my mind. The other option is we could found down here. We'd have some useless tiles in our city because of these mountains, but this is a good anomaly, especially considering how poorly we're doing on dust. It would give us a lot of water tiles. We could found like right here maybe. I don't like the being blocked off by mountains thing, but it would actually give us pretty good defense against attack from the north. Part of what I'm concerned about with the construction of with the shape of our empire is our defensibility. I don't want to get attacked by blue like this way against the city right here and have my army positioned over on the green border, which is where it's probably going to be spending a lot of its time, given that the green border is patrolled by the Zerg. There's another anomaly here. This whole area has no food in it, though. I don't know, right here might be good. This is rough. This is an ugly region, and I don't like it. Well, there's nothing for it, unfortunately. Alright, we're almost done with this very important legendary building. The fact that we are at Fervent is definitely helping there. You can see plus 30% food, plus 30% industry, plus 40 security. Security is how you control spies. We haven't talked about the spying mechanic at all, but it is going to be relevant to our game because we have the Forgotten as neighbors, and they're like the spying faction. Anyway, let's pick something and move on. Everybody needs science. That's my call. Alright, Costrian has an empty queue. Glimpse of a new era. This means that some other civilization has done enough research that they are now in the second technological era. Thanks to the scientific progress of another empire, new legendary buildings and deeds are available and ready to be complete. Should be completed. But you must be fast. Only one empire will be able to achieve each one of them and receive the benefits. Pictured here is a really important thing. This is the Industrial Megapole. It is the legendary building for Era 2, and it is super powerful. Really, really great. We want this badly. Alright, in your next Empire plan, our goal was to not put any influence into military and put at least level 1 into economy and population. We totally did that. And so the Hernas in that one region are pacified. I think that was this one. Yeah. The Hernas in that region that got settled by the blue guy are pacified. It ends up not being very meaningful to us, but the fact is we didn't do it for them, we did it for us, we needed the dust. And you can see we are now, for the first time in the game, operating a surplus. That's good. We couldn't keep doing that other thing we were doing forever. Speaking of which, Empire Mint. Alright. This guy needs to get back home, not just because it's time to start playing D, but also because that quest is over here. So if we found in this region, we can take advantage of the fact that we've already pacified the Ursus and assimilate them right away. This is the thing that will pacify the Kazanji if we go in there and fight the roaming army. We might do that. Okay, red is threatening us a little bit. That's not entirely shocking. We're going to have a couple of pretty quick turns here. There's not a lot going on. We need badly to get our home region under control. Alright, we have completed our Museum of Auriga. Okay, let's dismiss this. So, excellent. Okay, game. Chill out with the notifications. So you can see, let me turn off the tile yields. So you can see our fancy new district. You can see that our city borders have increased. If we click in here, yeah, you can see our city borders have increased. We are now working additional tiles. That's always good. We're getting a lot of production and a lot of food from this building. We're going to get more production because we intend to build this industrial megapole right away, the very moment that it's available to us. It is a really valuable and powerful building. And we're going to talk a little bit in this episode about city shapes and what it means to level up districts and all kinds of important stuff. But first, let's talk about getting these damned enemy military units under control. Alright, both of our cities have a surplus of production. That is my favorite series of words in the English language. We're going to build a public library, and then we're going to start producing additional military units, because we're going to need them. Our Panther warriors here are just going to join up. We need to reform our initial army. Oh, we're not researching anything currently. Alright, so over here at the second age, you can see these white pips around the age circle represent the number of technologies that we've learned from earlier eras. So we need to unlock 9 technologies to start being able to research stuff in the second era. That's important to us, especially because our army's not that great with just the units that are available in the first era. This guy, the Tene Walker, serves as kind of a wall of... Well, I was going to say a wall of meat, but really a wall of wood that our archers can hide behind. And it's really important to get these guys going for the balance of our army. Let's talk very briefly about legendary deeds as well. Only one legendary deed has been completed this game. That was completed by us. We got the Museum of Auriga here. But you can see, if you are the first to activate 4 luxury boosters, you'll get a reward of 130 die. These are semi-random every game. There's a small pool that they're drawn from. Destroy 10 armies in order to gain this reward, a technology that gives plus 15% initiative to all of your units for the entire game. That's pretty great. Be the first to defeat 3 armies led by a hero, so fight other players. Nobody has done any of that yet. Be the first to have a city's total income from primary trade routes of at least 20 dust. Nobody has any trade routes yet, because you get that tech in this era, and the first player just got here. We're going to get the resource extractors. We're going to need them. Our army is going to need weapons. Alright, so when we get here, this will give us the resources necessary to build the megapole. Again, we've gotten pretty lucky with our payouts from quests. Are those Driders running around? So you can see the units with the white frame are minor faction units unaffiliated with a player. Here's some wild Kazanji demons because we didn't pacify the Kazanji yet. This is an army of Sisters of Mercy. Fortunately, Sisters of Mercy are terrible at fighting. They are wholly a support unit. So we don't actually have to be very worried about them. You'll notice I put all our guys in Costrian back onto food. I want to get our empire populations up, but we do also need dust. Just like in Civ, getting the population up is an engine play. More citizens in the city means more people that can be assigned to stuff later. And we're operating in a surplus right now. Yeah, I think I want to just burn really hard on getting things set up. We're gonna move these guys over to food as well. Let's get population going. Okay. We're gonna have our first military encounter in a turn or two here. Yeah, we're completing things very quickly because we're very good at building. Do I want more approval in the city? It's true that it's not at 100 approval right now. And in fact, its approval is only as high as it is at this moment because of that wine. Yeah, let's go ahead and build it. It's only going to take one turn. Let's go ahead and build them a sewer system. Everybody likes plumbing. Indoor plumbing is like one of the greatest inventions of the past several hundred years. Alright. The troops may be tired, but the effort was worth it. It sure was. Glass, steel, and titanium. Glass, steel, and titanium are how you build an industrial megapole. So, I'm going to build it here. Is that right? Yes, it is right. I'm going to build it here. I'll talk about why the tile that I'm building it in matters in a little bit. Let's deal with this first. We got an enemy army. Okay, so you can see we have attacked this army of 2 Justiciars with our army composed of 2 Rangers and Moss. We're receiving reinforcements from nearby armies. In this case, the army of militia guarding our city. So we are ready to fight. So the game sort of carves out a little area of the world map that functions as your tactical map, and then you have a sort of a simple tactical battle here. Strategic battle, maybe. Alright, our units have 4 range, and they're archers. Because they are archers, they get morale, -1 morale when enemies are adjacent to them. That's bad. Morale's really important. Fortunately, I don't think it's going to come up here. Moss only has 3 range. He has to stand a little closer. These guys have 2 speed, but moving through forest is double cost, so they'll only be able to move 1 space each turn. This should be a pretty easy battle. In addition, you can see some of the spaces on the battle have flags depicting our faction symbol. Here and here for us. Here and here for them. Those are the spaces that reinforcing armies come from. So you can see 2 of our militia have spawned in. All of our units already have the correct targeting orders, so we're not going to mess with them. But if we wanted to, we could assign different orders, like we could tell our unit just to move, or to move and then to attack, like this. Let's see. But really, just shoot them from where I put you in the first place is totally the right order. So let's do it. Well, Sisters of Mercy are very, very weak attackers, but they have supporty healing, buffing spells. Our militia will get involved. Archers will pick these guys off pretty easily. Honestly, I think we're probably just going to pacify the Sisters of Mercy village real quick with violence. I have the speed on the combat animations turned way up. It doesn't always look like something out of Benny Hill. That's just a choice I made because I don't like to watch the very slow animations happen. Our wine booster has ended. Oh, so actually this is the value, this is the happiness value of our city without the wine booster. Well, that man, things are going okay on the building front. Oh, it looks like blue in this turn took to Lillian. Well, that's very unfortunate for us. It means that we're going to be reliant on either conquering or, unfortunately, finding another non-contiguous area to settle. It's so much easier to defend a contiguous empire. Well, so it goes, I suppose. Get a new research. Yes, I know we've finished building some things in our cities. What else do we really want to have online? This tech gives extra science on terrain that has science. We probably won't be researching it. We actually only need 2 more technologies to move to the next age, and I think we're going to end up getting 3 anyway. Because I want this. We need to be able to hire heroes. I want to be able to get the dye that's in our second region, and I want to be able to improve the dust output of that river in our capital. We'll start here. And then we'll get this. And then we'll see how things are. I'm not in any great hurry to, let's put our army up here. I'm not in any great hurry to research the ability to purchase new heroes, since we are nowhere near being able to do that. Alright, we're going to take our unit and we're going to finish exploring our region. We actually haven't seen the whole thing, and that's silly. We should see the rest of it. And we're going to take our other army and we're going to head down here to these sisters. What was their quest? They wanted us to go fight those monsters. As cold-blooded as this is, it's just way easier to fight the sisters. Yep, let's do it. Listen, I don't feel like a good guy about it. Unfortunately, we can't put all of our units in forests and have them remain in range. So our damage output's going to be a little bit less good. Now, everybody target the one in front. This is... Sometimes they start with very silly targeting orders, but it's okay. As you can see, it's easy to correct them. Alright, so those sisters are injured. It's a lot easier to see the differences in their health when you're fighting a faction, because the factions will have health bars that are the color of the faction instead of just white. Alright, army of archers, right? Pretty easy stuff. We've been fortunate because all of these battles have happened where we have militia to act as a front line and our archers are in no actual danger. Yes, I know, I failed the quest. As you can see, we've burned their village to the ground. This does pacify them, but we'll have to rebuild their village before they'll actually, join us and help us out. Let's go ahead and put that in the queue. After we're done with the megapole, I'll rebuild this village. And then make the titanium extractor. We're going to have access to a lot of titanium. We're going to build a great army, and then we're going to probably kill somebody for a new region. Hey, green guy. Get a move on. Do not block my movement. I will be very cross. Alright, Costrian is really tearing it up. Let's get the dye extractor running. Want to get our luxuries going as quickly as possible. So let's talk briefly, while I'm thinking about dye, which increases our influence output, let's talk briefly about why I made some of the decisions I made in the early game. Buying your empire plan cost influence. And the amount of influence that it costs is based on the number of cities you have. If we only had one city, the Empire plan we bought would have cost us 10 influence instead of 20. So I only needed to pay that minor faction for influence. Oh, God. Alright, we're going to talk about this. I only needed to pay my minor faction for influence because I was intending to found a second city before the Empire planning stage. Once I founded the second city, our influence income went up because each district produces one influence. But it went up so close to the next Empire planning cycle that it didn't have enough time to produce influence to pay for the extra cost of the higher Empire plan. This time around, we'll be able to buy two levels, two level 1 influence things. There are two level 1 Empire plan bonuses, so that'll be nice. Alright. So, winter has started. The dark season has begun. In winter, life and movement are more difficult. So, minus 50% movement, minus 1 industry on any tile you're exploiting, minus 1 food on tiles with food, minus 1 dust on tiles with dust, minus 1 vision on pretty much everything you have that can give vision. This is what you get. These are the penalties for the first winter. After the first winter, each subsequent winter will have some random additional penalties tacked on. The winters get worse and worse as the game goes on, and they get more frequent and longer. Eventually, by the end of the game, winter will become permanent. So, things are getting bad, and we have to win this game before winter consumes the planet entirely. If you've ever played the game Endless Space, which is also from the same developers, that does happen in the same universe. It happens many thousands of years later, and it is actually possible to find Auriga, this planet, in Endless Space. And when you encounter it, it's just a frozen, lifeless ball of ice, completely uninhabitable. So, grim things for our future. We were going to add something to this place's queue. It has low happiness. I'm not happy with that. Let's produce, or low approval. Let's produce a new approval building. Sadly, we have very little movement right now, and this asshole is in the way. Actually, he's not in the way. There's a cliff face here. This cliff face is in the way. I guess we're going to have to go around. That's okay. There's a ruin here that we didn't search completely because I'm dumb. I searched it once for the quest, and then I didn't search it again to get its normal loot out. So over here on the side, you can see an estimation of the length of the seasons. Our weather science is not so good, and so we know this winter is going to last, another 1 to 5 turns. Hard to say. There are technologies. There is at least one technology you can research that will improve your prediction of the changing of the seasons. It has definitely hurt our construction of this industrial megapole. Actually, I think we are going to... Yeah, I want to get this done fast. I do not want it getting sniped by another empire. We are only able to produce it because we got very lucky on quest rewards for resources. But I can't say for sure that nobody else got as lucky as we did. So let's make sure we get this done, huh? You can see because of the dust penalties, we are operating at a small dust penalty once again. Deficit, rather. Okay. We have completed enough researches to enter Era 2, the Age of Glory. Yep. So now we have access to the second group of researches. We're going to get this, but we're going to come back for it. The first thing we're going to get right now, though, is Imperial Highways. This allows us to create trade routes. Trade routes are basically a nearly free source of gold. I love gold. Gold? There's no gold in this game. Dust. I love dust. So let's do that. Other things that are very important that we're going to research. Alchemical alloys allows us to produce powerful weapons out of titanium and glass steel. There's a weaker version of this tech in the first age. Lets you make tier 1 titanium and glass steel weapons. Those are fine. This is the real shit right here. This is extremely my jam. We're going to get some of this on. In time. All in good time. We're going to go around this obnoxious cliff face. This army honestly doesn't have a lot to do. We're just going to join up with them and have a larger and more impressive army for fighting minor faction units. Okay, Empire plan time. So, because we've entered a new research era, we now have greater, more powerful bonuses unlocked, but these are much more expensive. You can see it would cost us 60 because the second rank requires twice as much influence, so 20 plus 40. But this would be cool, right? Reduces the cost to buy buildings straight up with dust. This would make it cheaper to build buildings with production. This just plus 30% attack on all your units for the duration of the Empire plan. That's bananas. This is plus 25 approval on cities. It's all good stuff. I think what we're going to do with our limited influence is this. We're going to keep our dust output solid in case we need it, and we're going to get some more research. We're not actually taking advantage of that dust bonus right now because we have no citizens working dust, but that may change. In fact, that should probably change. If we do this, will the city starve? It will starve, but it will starve very slowly. That's fine. I'm willing to accept slow starvation. We'll have those guys. We'll have the city back in food at the end of the winter, and nobody will actually starve. I'm not quite that cold-blooded. We're gonna have to deal with these Kazanji. That's no question. We do have to pacify and assimilate a faction. I would rather assimilate the Kazanji than the Sisters. That's for damn sure. So what was their deal? They want us to destroy a Herna's village in Kalal. And as you can see here, there are 3 Kazanji villages. It would probably be easier to destroy those Hernas than it would be to... but the Hernas, since they're pacified, might be considered to belong to Blue. I don't want to have to declare war on Blue. And we may just have to fight all the Kazanji. Maybe I shouldn't just go around pacifying everything without settling the regions first. I don't know. Maybe that's kind of biting us in the ass right now. Winter should be ending shortly, either this turn or next. Okay, here it is. Good. We'll deal with that in a moment. Summer has returned, making everything lush and green. I'm so happy, you have no idea. Okay, the Kazanji are not content to wait. They have attacked our Rangers. The game does not give us a very good chance of winning this battle. I think that that's a little silly. We are totally going to win this battle. We have a hero. They don't have a hero. Alright, so these guys are going to move first. This is the turn order up here. These guys have a lot of initiative, a lot of attack, a lot of damage. Demons are actually really great units. So these guys are going to move 2 spaces before we get to do anything, and they, because they are flying, will be unimpeded by the movement costs of the forest. So we're going to place our units such that we are firing upon them at max range after they move to. So he's going to end up here. We're going to be, like, down here. Yeah, like that. Alright, so you will fire on him from here. That actually might draw him in that direction. Alright. We want to make sure that our units move off of these tiles before the end of the turn, because otherwise we won't be able to get more reinforcements coming in through them. It's important to make sure that your reinforcement flags are unblocked. Okay, so a pretty soft start. We got our forest rage. Alright, we're going to get attacked this turn, and there's nothing we can really do about it. Make sure you move off of the reinforcement flag before firing. Alright, let's do it. We are weakening them quite a lot before they get to attack. Wow. That was a one-shot. That's not quite what I was expecting. Like I said, our units are not very strong, but I was not expecting that to happen. The militia will be able to finish him off. Alright, well, bombard him. We're going to take some damage here. There's no way we kill him before he attacks. Yeah, I think we're going to lose those rangers. Yeah, like I said, these guys are strong. We are not so strong. Fortunately, he is unlikely to get another attack off. Oh, wow. I didn't know the militia were going to kill him right there, but I meant that we had a little bit more violence come in before his next attack. So, Costrian is going to need to build us some new rangers. Alright, we're operating at a significant dust surplus right now, and I think it's going to stay that way for a little while. Costrian is large enough. I am not happy about the prospect of fighting 3 Kazanji villages, though. I suppose we could bribe them all. That's not going to be cheap, though. That's going to be more than 100 dust per. Which guy is blue? Have we actually met blue? We haven't. We don't know what race blue is. Okay. Short-term mission. Meet the blue player. Feel out whether it would be okay to go into his region and destroy that village. That said, I think we're getting this megapole. I think this is happening. And I'm happy about it. We have a huge advantage on these early legendary buildings due to our natural industry surplus. So do I want to make Tene walkers? Let's get this done. Now that we're gonna have some dust, I want to be able to actually hire new heroes. Broken Lords. These guys are not people. I guess that's not fair. They're not like biological human type people is what I mean. Mildly jealous because we have a common frontier. Okay. These guys are basically robots. They're suits of armor and that are animated, I believe, entirely by dust. So they're sort of like robots. As such, they don't use food. They don't even have access to the food resource. And their citizens don't come from food, obviously, then. They have to create their citizens out of dust. So each citizen costs them dust. They are a pretty good faction. I think they're one of the better ones. Also, their units don't heal naturally. Our units will heal over time when injured. Broken Lord units have to be healed manually by having dust poured into them, basically. Okay, so we finished our megapole. Somebody else has destroyed 10 armies and gained tactical training. Normally, if I had to guess, I would say that that's the necrophages doing the thing the necrophages do. But their starting hero is totally in our territory, which means he's not fighting anybody. So, I don't know. It still might be them, honestly. They're very good at their jobs. Which are killing and eating, usually in that order. But sometimes, you know, at the same time. So let's talk a little bit about why I've built my regions the way I built them. First of all, look at all these glorious resources. But also, if we mouse over our regions, you can see in the lower left corner it says, "We'll upgrade to level 2 when surrounded by 4 level 1 districts." We can upgrade our districts by surrounding them with more districts, and upgraded districts give a lot of extra resources. They're very powerful. It's great to have more levels on your districts. Both of these now have 2 districts adjacent to them already. My plan is to build here and here to level up our megapole, and then to build here, which will level up our museum. When leveled up, it will give additional approval, it will give stronger bonuses, and when this is leveled up, it will give just another 25 industry. And we'll be able to build everything super, super fast, which is great. We're already building things very quickly. You can see in over the next 2 turns, we will complete 4 buildings. And then we'll build some districts. So getting these leveled up is a high priority for me, and that's why we built the way that we built. A triangle is a very powerful shape for your districts, and we could just build our city, build a district here to level this up, and then build a district here, and it would level up both of these. But what I actually want to do is build a snake formation down the river to take maximum advantage of the river tiles. And a snake formation allows you to end up with more level 2 districts in total. It just takes a while to build. Also, I should mention, you can only build 1 district in your city for each 2 population you have. So your maximum city size is constrained by population. And it's part of the reason that it's important to have your early cities grow, because you want to be able to build a lot of districts. If we move these people off of... What are we looking at here? Wow, it's still... Man, it's still just so much production. We have enough people to do the thing I want to do right now. Let's get this done as quickly as possible, and then we can... Well... No. We're building this stuff so quickly that we're going to eclipse our technology as it is anyway. What do I want to do with these guys? You know what I want to do with these guys? I want to come over here and wait for Costrian to finish making that ranger. And then we're going to add that ranger and the one that's in Costrian already completed to the army. When we complete the rebuild of this, this Sisters of Mercy thing, we will be able, we'll add the Sisters of Mercy to our population, and that'll be helpful. Looks like we have a diplomatic message. Let's dismiss these for the moment. Oh, the Ardent Mages finished that thing before us and got the huge extra supply of dye. That's nice. The Hive has decided what you will do, as you seem incapable yourself. Yeah, they're closing their borders to us because they're gonna war on us. Well, let's do this. Let's get us some new weapons. I often don't research the armor tech, but the weapon tech is absolutely required. No joke. Alright, so we'll take this army, merge it into our existing army, and now we are at 4 of 4 units. Armies have a maximum size of 4 units plus a hero at the beginning of the game. There's a technology that you can research to allow you to build larger armies. It's just so much easier to fight with an army that can enter battle all at once instead of having to come in via reinforcement flags. There is a hero type you can level up. I don't remember if it's on the infantry heroes or the support heroes, but one of the hero classes has 2 extra reinforcement flags as one of their top tier skills, and that's actually really powerful for fighting with large armies. We're just not quite there. I would really love to pacify all 3 of these Kazanji villages at once. I don't want to piss off our neighbor, but I might do it anyway. Alright. So we have finished the right-of-way in Mandara. And what that means is that, first of all, we've constructed roads now from this capital to adjacent capitals. Roads are quicker to travel on. That's nice. It also means that we can establish trade routes with adjacent regions. Any adjacent region that is owned by us or is owned by a player that we are at least at peace with, we will generate trade routes to. I do need to build I do need to finish building right of way in Costrian. That's important. We may want to make peace with our neighbors for economic benefit, and then it will be to their economic benefit as well, since the trade routes will bring them money and science. And so we are, Alright, we're going to try this. This is the one. And hey, look, a ruin. You may have noticed we can enter their borders without declaring war on them. What is this? Wow. Has this forgotten my dad? Anyway. A warning. So, warnings are a way of decreasing the influence cost of negative diplomatic actions while increasing the cost of positive diplomatic actions. You can see the effect lasts around 10 turns, and it has a sloping effect. The increase in costs for the thing that, whatever. The change in costs is smallest on turns 1 and 10 and largest on turn 5. So it has a kind of a bell curve shape to it, sort of. So he intends to declare war on us, basically. He's doing this so that the declaration of war will cost less influence. Which means that I do not want to be declaring war on blue right now, and also I don't want to have hostile minor faction units in my empire right now. I need neither of those things to be true. Yep, I can't attack them because they're pacified. Okay, we are going to have to deal with the Kazanji one by one. I thought that might be the case, but I couldn't remember. Alright, +1 accessory slot is not actually useful, but we're taking it so that we can get up to this good stuff. We do have the resources now to equip him with that sweet crossbow that we found. Let's do that. Unfortunately, you can only equip people with... you can only equip your units while they're in your territory, so we got to get him back to town. We'll be able to use some of our... Oh, I shouldn't have hit end turn. Look at how much money I have left. Stealthy pink units. Forgotten units have stealth. Yes, they are pillaging our die thing. Okay. They're about to die thing. Yeah. Now who's someone's dad? I'm not happy about this. Alright, buddy. We're leaving. We're on our way out. The reason I said I shouldn't hit end turn is that I have a bunch of dust here. We should be buying heroes. I need more heroes. So you can see heroes are relatively expensive. The cost to buy heroes goes up as the game goes on, and I believe also as players purchase heroes. This video's gotten pretty long. We're probably going to buy a hero and then... You can pillage... We're going to deal with this guy too. You can pillage someone's stuff, pillage improvements on tiles in their regions, without declaring war. But... we can put an end to this by closing our borders to him, and then he'll actually have to declare war if he wants to stay inside our border. If he pillages this, it will stop working for a few turns, and he'll get some money from us. Well, he'll get some money. I actually don't know if it deducts it from our coffers or not, but it will definitely break our die extractor for a few turns. And I don't care for that. I mean, the other option we have is we just go over here and kill his army. It would be costly, and he wouldn't like it, but it would weaken him. And honestly, forgotten units are not that great at combat. It's why they have that stealth capacity, so that they don't get jumped all the time. Yeah, you know what? We're just going to go over there and we're going to murder him. I didn't buy a hero. Why do I keep hitting end turn? And his short attention span is why. Alright, okay. One thing at a time here. Yes, I know, we're leaving. I'm sorry. Look at this asshole. Alright, I don't actually want to fight him this turn. I want to get into my territory and equip my guys with new stuff. We need to hire a hero. Let's actually do this. So, when you're hiring a hero, what are you looking for? You're looking for, first of all, what you need. We have a military commander already. I'm fairly confident that he will be he'll be a good commander. So we need some governors, really. That's the thing we need most. So we look at the hero's capacities and we see who has boosts. Some heroes have, let's find an example. Some heroes have efficiency abilities that increase the output of citizens working on resources. These are basically always worse than boost abilities, like this one, where the hero produces the resources. The efficiency abilities do have the ability to produce more stuff, raw, but you have to commit citizens to them to make them effective. Boost abilities are nice because they continue to do their thing no matter what your citizens need to do. So let's have a look here. Influence boost 1, industry boost 1, I like that. Science boost 1, we can certainly use more science. This guy has no governor type abilities at all. But he is a forgotten hero, and all the forgotten heroes have spying level 4. They're great spies. That's useful. We're just not going to make use of it right now. Now, there are a lot of very military-focused commanders here. Dust boost 2. This guy might be the winner. We need more dust. Always more dust. So plus 4 dust for each of his levels. Plus 1% dust. The other thing we can do is hire somebody who has dust efficiency. No, never mind. There's nobody available who has dust efficiency. I was going to say we could hire somebody who has dust efficiency and put them in that city that we have that's just generating lots of dust all the time. Alright, we're going to buy this guy. He's not amazing at combat. He's not really that great of a governor either. We'll buy him to have him function as a governor for now, and then if it comes down to it, we can convert him into a spy. So I'm buying him a little bit for his versatility. So having him function as the governor of the city puts his dust boost ability into play. It also means that he'll be present and he'll fight if the city gets attacked, which obviously is useful. Alright, let's get our... Oh, right, nobody is building anything. Let's get our units back home, and then we'll start to think about our next play. So I'm going to build another burrow. Like I said, I'm going to build in this formation. You can see now that this tile is producing 52 industry. Things are going okay, I guess. We could start expanding here as well. Let's turn tile yields back on. None of the tiles around this one are particularly mind-blowing. If we wanted to do a triangle, for simple efficiency's sake, we could get lots of space. The other thing we could do is build a snake in this city as well. Build it like this way up into this forest over here, and maybe even be able to take advantage of this life tree. I don't know. In either case, building a burrow here is not terrible. It gets us 5 more industry and a bunch more food. Let's do that. Let's start expanding our cities. We're going to take a happiness hit from expansion. It's a little bit like Civ in that way. But we'll be alright. So what do I want now? Let's unlock the ability to make peace treaties. We'll be able to take advantage of our trade routes and the pressure, the economic pressure that they can put on other people to cooperate with us. Because I love cooperation. It's not that I don't love war. It's just that I don't love it when other people decide that there's going to be war. I like to decide when there's going to be war. Red is closing the borders. Yeah, everybody's mad. Everybody's mad all the time. Okay. This is pretty bad. These are probably both Kazanji. We know for a fact that one is. We saw it go into the fog. But this one may well be as well. We could just buy all these villages off. Actually, you know what? We can buy this. I forgot about this. We can buy off the village that gave us the quest and then parlay with another one of the villages and get a different quest. That's what I'm going to do. Alright, so that one village is pacified. And then we will make haste to the other village we know about and see if we can't get a quest that's a little easier to fulfill and maybe get the other two pacified that way. That would be cool. But that's a plan for the future. I think we're going to call it for this episode. So, things are starting to heat up diplomatically. Everybody seems to be mad at us. But man, just wait until they can receive all of the sweet, sweet dust from our trade routes. Hold on a second. We are going to finish giving orders to this city. So if we build here, this will become level 2. Let's talk a little bit about approval, though. You can see that we get minus 10% approval from level 1 districts. And we don't have any normal level 2 districts, so you can't see what those give. But you get plus approval from level 2 districts. So level 2 districts are a good way of controlling your slowly downward spiraling approval, because expanding is always going to have that effect. The other thing we can build is a husbandry center. There's a building like this for each basic resource. It just dramatically improves the output of working citizens, but can only be built once in the Empire. You know, let's go ahead and do that. I'm fine with doing that on this one, on this city. And we'll use that population boost to snake down and claim this whole river, and then just improve the hell out of the river tiles with the river researches. Alright, well that's going to call it for this episode of Endless Legend. Come back next time when probably war gets declared on somebody.